Jungle.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, friends. Welcome back to Football Gupshup, Football Manager 2024 Everton series. And today is the second episode. Before we begin this episode, please do subscribe to the channel, press the like button as well, and let's begin. So, as you can see, guys, we had just one friendly game, intra-friendly. It was between the squad, and we discussed about some of the transfers that we wanted to make. Now, something exceptional has happened, and we received two offers for our players and we couldn't turn them down, and we're going to go through them. We'll also have a look at some of the transfer targets that we have selected. We'll go through them one by one and we'll look at the basically our tactics, and we'll look in the positions that we're looking for, basically what kind of players do we need and who can we sell. If any offers come for them, will we look to sell them in this transfer window? So we'll go through all that. So just before that, we are going to go and have a look for the transfers that we have made. And as you can see on your screen, transfers right now, we're going to go to the transfer history. And if you can have a look, we got an offer from Al Ettifaq from Saudi League. It was 24 million, and we made a deal. It was a very good deal. Why? For me, I think he was getting older, 34 years of age, 33 years of age. Uh, a pretty good deal in 24 million. Then we got a very good offer from Al Hilal for Dele Ali. We apparently made that deal happen. So we raised about 37.5 million, which is a very good, I think, transaction. And then what we did was we went out and we bought Archie Gray from Leeds United for 16.5 million. So we have bought a midfielder. There are some names which we are going to go through. And before that, we are going to go and see what do we need basically in terms of tactics. Uh, I've got this board over here in front of me. Now, as you can see, Calvert-Lewin will be playing up front. We do know that Beto has been bought, so he's a good cover for Calvert-Lewin. But I was thinking of getting at least another player, maybe a two. I would show you my transfer targets, and then we will see what do we think in regards to those names. There are two names apparently who I would want to get, but we'll have to be careful in terms of spending. We need to save a little bit money in regards to that. Going below on the wings, we've got Harrison McNeil. We do know that Harrison and apparently Danjuma, who is on the wing right now, are on loan, and I was just having a look at their valuation. Now for Danjuma, he's valued between 50 million to 60 million, which is a lot of money, and I think Everton won't be able to make that transfer permanent unless and until they have lots of money. It's going to be pretty hard. Then have a look at Harrison. He's between 17 million to 25 million. I think that could be done. So we might be able to make that deal permanent. I will see if we can do this deal permanent in terms of if we can make this happen this season, but we'll find out soon. So I think Danjuma will only play for one season, and I don't think so we'll be able to sign him permanently. We'll have McNeil, who is doing a pretty good job in real life as well on that left line. So we need to look in those wing positions, and we need to get players so that if we do lose Danjuma next season, we need to have a replacement on that right wing. And even if you're not making Harrison the permanent, we need to have more players. So we have made that transfer targets, and there are plenty of right wingers and left wingers we're going to go for. Now, the position which I have left there in the middle is the cam position. I went for basically 4-2-3-1. Uh, the reason I went with this because it suits gegenpress tactics. So that's what I've done over here. And that's the only position that I went through the whole roster, and I couldn't find any player who can play in that position. If I play Onana in that, I think it's a little bit more like Fellaini. I don't want to go through that. I need some creative players in that role, and we have got some names over there. So we're gonna see who we're gonna target. It's best to go with some wonder kids because they come in cheap. The salaries aren't that big, but we have some names who can be, I think, pretty good additions. So we have a look, and I've got two names already. And I was thinking maybe if we add them, if it would make sense. But we'll go through that position a little bit later. Now, coming back to the midfield position, we've already sold some players. We got Grain, we got Onana, we got James Garner as well. And I am looking at one other player who plays for Blackburn. I'm going to tell you who he is going to be. And perhaps we might get to sign him in this one. Now, looking at the back, now this is what I'm more concerned about. This is, for me, it's a big worry. It's basically Patson who's playing at the right back position. Mikalenko is playing on the left back position. Now, those two players are pretty good, but when it comes to basically getting their, you could say, their cover players, such as who can replace them if one of them gets injured, there are not so many options. Now, the option that we got is Ashley Young. Ashley Young is what, 37 years of age? I mean, come on, that's like asking too much, and I think we need to get in a replacement. Then in the right back position, I was just having a look. There are some players from the academy, but not so much as we can say. We got Seamus Coleman, 34 years of age, and I think it's not good. So we need to find those right backs and left backs. We're going to go and see whose name we have shortlisted. Then looking at centre backs, we got Tarkowski, and I was just having a look who else can play in over there. Michael Keane, I'm not so sure about him. Holgate is already on loan, so we got Branthwaite. And other than that, I haven't seen any other player who would make sense. There is Ben Godfrey, who could play that role, but I think we really do need at least two centre backs. And I think the defense is more concerning for me. Pickford is doing good in Everton goal, but we can go and see if we can find another player. Imagine if Pickford gets injured, then who we got? No one. So that is what we're looking for. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go and see our transfer targets. Now, I made this for you guys so that you guys are aware. There you go, guys. On your screen, you can see it right now. And we have got basically starting from the center, you can see we've got Sedford Tommy, who is playing in the goalkeeping position. He plays for Ajax. Then we got Jorel Haito, who plays as center back. Diamande Usmane, he plays as center back as well. I've just checked his valuation is a little bit too much. Then we got Barco Valentin. I would love to get this guy. We've already put in a bid for him. Let's see if it gets accepted. Then we got Kyoto Michael, who is pretty expensive, but I've got some other players. I will show you my shortlist. Then Adam Morton, which I mentioned earlier from Blackburn, he plays as a CDM. Dre Archie, we have gotten him already. Now Yavilso, we'll see if we can kind of get him as well. Then we got Moore Mikey, who plays apparently for Tottenham. Then you got Andrea Shedlop, who plays as a left winger as well. So we'll see what can we get in those wing positions. You got Baji Rooney, who I am desperate to get, and I will try to get him because if Danjuma leaves, we need somebody to play in that right wing position. So we will try to go out and get him. Then there is another player from Watford, which I really like. There was already a player who has left Watford and joined Brighton, whose name is Yao Pedro. I really wanted to get him, but he's joined Brighton. So I went for another player of Watford for Yasser Esprella, who I really like. And you'll see if we can get him because in the striking position, in the striking department, there are some names which I'm going to give you options and I'll let you know what do I think, who should I try to get. Coming back on to the third list, which is on your left hand side, it's Luis Guilherme, who plays in the cam role, and he does a very good. I think he's a very young kid, 17 years of age. Then we got Nusa Antonio, the Norwegian player. His valuation is a little bit high. Then you got Drupi Jr. We're going to go through the valuations as well. Estabao, once again, like Guilherme, Claudia Keveri, who plays as a striker as well. Then you got Marcos Leonardo, who I really want to get. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you now my short list on Football Manager 24. And as you can see, we will show it to you right now. And as it is in scouting department, there's our shortlist. Right. Now, I've shortlisted these players. I know we can't get them all. It will be more about who can we afford, who can we get. David De Gea, I've had a look at him. He is going to cost us free, although his wages were a little bit high. So we'll see if we can work around those wages. Usman Diomande is a little bit expensive for me, 49 million to 66 million. I don't think so. Everton can afford that. Uh, then looking at other centre back options, I really wanted to get Bella Kotchap. Maybe next season we'll see if we can try to get him. I really want to get Bella Kotchap. He's a really good player. He's on loan from Southampton, and he's basically a very good player who I would really like to get. Then we've got other player in the defensive position, and I've just got it over here. Diakite. I think he's a very good player. 13 million to 16.5. This is affordable. I think we should try to get him, and we will see if we can get this player. He's a very good center back. Then another name which came to me is Jorel Heto, and we have put up for scouting. We'll see if we can try to get him for cheap. If he can get this kid, I think we should try to get him. He will be a very good addition. So Diakite and Hato are the two center backs that I really want to get. Now we'll move to the full back positions, and those players which I have apparently targeted are, one of them is Maffeo, and apparently I compared him with other right backs as well. I think for 9.2 million and 1.6 million in wages is really a steal, and he's really a good player. He can play as a winger as well, as you can see. It shows basically he's competent enough as an AMR. As an MR, he's competent, so he can play in those positions. So Mafio is a very good player who I've really, I think I'm trying to get used to. I used to play him on FIFA, so I'm very much familiar with this game. And now the other name which he came, and I was looking for bargains, so I found James Justin, who would cost me around the same figure. He can play as a left back, he can play as a right back for 9 million as well. His pace is so good, 14. Then with his dribbling and crossing, we can work on the crossing part over there. But his marking is quite good. His tackling is good as well. Work rate is 14. So I think he is a pretty good player with the agility of 13. So James Justin and Pablo Maffeo are the ones for me who I think will go for. These two alongside Barco are going to be exceptional additions, and I think we're going to spend around 40 to 50 million on our defense. I think that would be a pretty good spend because we really need to improve our defense in terms of covers, in terms of playing for the future. So hopefully we'll spend 40 to 50 million in order to get these players. Now we're going to go a little bit towards our midfield, and we're going to talk about our midfield right now. Now, the players that I have seen who I really want to get, one of them is Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton is apparently playing for Blackburn. 14.5 million to 23 million. I think we should try to target him. He'll be a pretty good addition. He can play in the midfield. He can play in the defensive midfield position as well. So I think he's a pretty good player. His strength is a little bit less, which is on 9, but he's 19 years of age. He can improve of that. Improve on that. Then another thing which I saw was, which really kind of I thought about, is that you need domestic players as well as they need to have some kind of ability where they can improve this Everton side. And for that, I saw his technique, which is 14, and that is what we need. Everton needs some little bit technical players, such as Tottenham. They tend to always go for those technical players, so that is why what I'm trying to target over here. We can also see his first touch is really immaculate, 15, which is so good. The tackling is not that good. Maybe he'll work on that, and maybe he'll get better. Positioning wise, he's so good as well. Vision wise, 15. I think if we work on this player, he is going to be a pretty good player for Everton. That is why, for me, he is a really good target. Adam Borton, we'll try to get him. Now, looking at other players in the midfield area, we got that cam role, which I really wanted to discuss. Now, there are plenty of names in terms of who we should try to get. But just before that, there's another name, João Veloso, who has been always, I think, being bought by those who play Football Manager. I haven't got the scouting report so far until and unless I get his scouting report and see how much he will cost. Then I'll make a decision if you want to buy him or not. Other than that, I think I'm going to wait on him. But now we're going to look at that cam roll, and right now we're going to have a look at Estevao, who plays for Sep. 16 years of age. Should we try to go and get him? It's too young, but if we can get him for cheap, so I think it wouldn't be a bad deal for the future. Then we got another player which I really like is Mikey Moore. He plays for Tottenham. Will Tottenham let him go and let us get him? Will they allow him to leave Tottenham and play for Everton is just a question. I'm just waiting for the scouting report. Once it comes in, then we'll have a look. How much is it going to cost us? Should we go for him or not? And then I was having a look at Luis Galeme, who is apparently 17 years of age. I've heard pretty good things about him. He can play on that right wing as well as Cam Roll. So I'm waiting to see what other reports come in because there are other players who I am trying to look in that wing position, and I'm going to just come on to that. So we're going to go a little bit upwards and see the likes of Andreas Schürrle. He's a little bit expensive, 19 million to 25 million, but he plays on the left wing. And I think we are looking for the scouting report. When it comes back, then we'll see because he's already on loan. Uh, no sense in going for him in this season, maybe next season. Now, the other player which I really like is Bakayoko. I think he is truly going to be a good, promising player. Now, looking at the Juma, 50 million to 60 million, that is going to be pretty expensive. So for Bakayoko, 24 million to 38 million, I think if we do raise a little bit more funds, I think you should go for the likes of Johan Bakayoko. And I think this is the player that we really need. Looking at his stats, you can see clearly crossing 11 to 15, dribbling 10 to 15. I mean, first touch is 9 to 15, finishing is 7 to 12, where he can improve. Then you can see the technique 14 to 18, that's pretty superb. Look at his player 12 to 16, uh, work rate 11 to 15, acceleration 16, agility 10 to 15, pace 16. I mean, stamina is 13 to 17. I think we should try to go and get Bakayoko, who's 20 years of age. He can improve a lot. This is the player that I think Everton should go for. We're going to send out a scout and see what do the report on him. Now the players that I was talking to you about in number 10 role, there were two names which I think that we should try to get. One of them is Thiago Almada, who plays for Atlanta United. He is the Argentinian who was selected in the World Cup squad, which Argentina won with Lionel Messi. I think this guy is going to be a steal. His wages are around 2.3 million. I think this is the sort of player that Everton should be looking for. So I was thinking either is going to be him or is going to be another player, which I'll tell you in a second just before we look at his stats. Dribbling 12 to 16, finishing 12 to 16, first touch 13 to 17, really, really good. Technique, ability is 14 to 18, passing is 14 to 20. That is the creative thing that we're looking for. That is the sort of player that we want. Aggression 11 to 17, bravery 11 to 15, decisions 13 to 17, player 12 to 18, vision 13 to 17. I mean, this guy is really superb. I think this is the kind of player that we should go for. 11 to 15 in agility, acceleration 13 to 19, pace is 11 to 15. I think in terms of strength, you can see he is a little bit lightweight, but 22 years of age, I think he'll be superb. 7.8 to 13 million. I think we should go for the likes of him. And the other player which was in my mind, which comes around, is right on the top over here. In a second, where has he gone? It was apparently Dybala. It's not coming on my short list right now. So we're gonna have a look at Dybala, and he was apparently the other person which came into my mind. 13 million. I'm gonna ask his agent how much is it gonna cost us. But the worry for me is his wages, 9 million. I mean, if Calvert Lewin is injured, then you need someone who can put in those goals. And I was thinking none other than Dybala, who can play in that number 10 role right behind Calvert Lewin. As well as if Calvert Lewin gets injured, then Dybala can play instead of him. Although he's got a pretty bad injury record as well. I was thinking maybe if you can get him, it will be a good addition. But 8.92 million in wages is a lot. Agility 18, balance 18, pace 13, strength 11, passing is 17, technique is 19, superb. And then you got the flair 18, vision is 17. Imagine him playing in number 10 position, dribbling 17, finishing 16, 17 first touch. I think this is the sort of play that you should have in your team as a number 10. Uh, but Everton do have a history with those number 10s in past previous years, such as James Rodriguez. Then they had another one. I think Everton haven't been good with those big names, and Dybala is a big name. It's better to go with a younger one, such as Almada. So we might go for him. Dybala might be a little bit expensive, so it's better to go with Almada. So we might go for Almada in the end, and that is what we have in terms of this shortlist. The other player which I wanted in the attacking position, it was this Leeds United player, Wilfred Nonto. I really like this player. I think he's a superb player. He can play anywhere up front. He can play as a number 10. He can play on the left wing. He can play on the right wing, and he can play up front. I think this is a player that Everton should go for. His wages are normal, regular starter. I think he'll be superb addition for Everton. That is what should we be targeting. So this is the short list that we had made, and there was another player, Facundo Torres. I had a look at him. We'll see if we can get him. His wages are quite low, so we'll see if we can get him from Orlando City as well. It all depends on the budget. Now, just before we are going to finish this episode, we're just going to go and have a look at our board over here. And basically, what we're going to see over here is that what kind of players should we sell, where we can raise a little bit more of cash. And the names that came into my mind were apparently if somebody comes in for Ashley Young, but Ashley Young has just joined us, so it might be difficult. But other than that, I was going through some of the names, and as you can see, Michael Keane, if somebody comes in bid for him, I'll sell him. If somebody comes in for Seamus Coleman, I'll sell him as well. If somebody comes in from Andre Gomez, I'll sell him as well because I don't think so. Andre Gomez can offer us, as we know that he isn't good enough. But if somebody comes in for a little bit money, I would sell him first and foremost. So hopefully we can raise some more cash. And let's have a look at our finances. And right now we got around 93.7 million in transfer budget. We got 171 payroll, so we got plenty of money there. And let's have a look basically at our transfers, and let's see how much have we raised over here because we have raised around 126 million. So if somebody comes up with more money, if we can take this around 140, 150 kind of thing, then I think we'll have plenty of money to raise to for our purchases. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. So guys, we're gonna do is we're gonna go and do one transfer before we finish this episode, and let's go to our shortlist and see if we can get our players. And if you can give me a second, we're just gonna have a look right now. There's our shortlist. Right, we're gonna go there and see if we can bid for the likes of Adam Wharton, who I really want to get, and see if we can get him for right. Uh, for some reason, it's not happening. We'll have a look maybe later, but let's get this defender, Diakite, and ask agent about his availability. What will it take to get a deal done? They're saying that apparently Lille will ask between 13 million and 16.5 million. Want a salary of between 1.97 per year and 2.3 million. We can ask him to bring that down. We'll expect to provide competition for places and plenty of playing time over the season. So would want a relegation release clause of 24.5 million. Uh, right. Let me see what we can answer him back. Uh, I'm unwilling to negotiate any release clauses. Sorry. Uh, okay, so we're gonna negotiate. Let's go for an offer. Uh, Play power works in the end. So 13 million is the money we're gonna go and go for 16.5 and finalize this offer. So there you go, it's done. And what we're gonna do is there's another player, Junior Krupi. I'll have a look. I'm just waiting for the scouting report to come back, and we'll have a look at him a little bit later. Let's go to Gerald Heto. I think we're gonna wait for the report. So guys, we've already made a bid. It has been accepted. The first uh, defender that we're gonna sign is Diakite. We're just gonna wait on Heto report. Once it comes back, then we'll go and bid for him. So once again, guys, please do subscribe to Football Gupshup. We are really trying our best to grow this channel on YouTube platform. So this was the second episode. We did basically this episode was all about transfers, and hopefully you would have loved today's episode. If any of you have any suggestion, if any of you have any suggestion for any other player that we should try to improve, and you've seen the positions that we are lacking in, and if you have any suggestion, you can give in the comment section your opinion, and you can let us know what you think about these players that we have targeted. And if there are any other players that we don't know of, please do let us know. And once again, guys, please do subscribe to Football Gupshup. We're really trying our best to grow this channel. So please do subscribe, give a like as well, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.
Jungle.